Hi Sagittarius, it's Power and Light Tarot coming at you with the reading. Today we have another great reading for you guys. And happy birthday to anybody who was born this day. I think today's the 22nd, isn't it? I feel like it is. And yes, it is. And the sun entered Sagittarius yesterday, I believe. And definitely, so treat yourself to something nice, a nice experience, massage, a vacation if you want to, right? Let's see what we have. Let's see what the animals have to say. The animal deck, yeah, which is very cool. Let's see what we have to say about the animal deck. For Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, we have the chimpanzee, curiosity, intelligence, and the shadow side. Okay, so they're calling the chimpanzee the shadow side. Partially because he kind of gets into, he's a little mischievous, right? He's intelligent, right? I feel like he's probably the most intelligent ape or monkey, whatever the kind of, I don't know, zoological term is here for chimpanzees. There's another term for him. And yeah, and so curiosity, when people are intelligent, they're always curious, they're always asking questions, right? So this is about somebody, Sagittarius, maybe you figured something out about yourself because of the shadow side. And we know it could be somebody else in these readings. They're usually love readings, and this is going to be for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Anybody who resonates with it, you guys, not just for Sag, because these readings are for the collective. So we also have the penguin, and here he is, and transitional, unconventional, and dream visions. So somebody here looked at their shadow side, which is really good, right? You don't have to criticize yourself. You just go, hey, nobody's perfect, and I'm learning and moving on, moving up, right? Moving on up. And the transitional is the moving up. It sure is. And unconventional and dream visions. All right, unconventional is what it is. It's something that doesn't happen every day. And Sagittarians, you guys are kind of, you're not like kind of everybody else in some ways, no? And then we have dream visions, right? Something's going on here. There's a change, and somebody has kind of understood themselves, or just raise their consciousness. It's about raising your energy, your vibration, and being better, right, for yourself, without too much explanation here. Dream visions, and somebody has a vision of a dream, and they're able to see that or move into it. Sagittarius, you're able to move there because you have looked at your shadow side, or somebody else has. And you guys, somebody's looking at this, you or them, is looking at this like, wow, this kind of doesn't happen every day, or there's something different here that is not common. When you kind of take a good look at your shadow side, and there's all kinds of possibilities for the future, right? Of course, you're like, wow, look where I had myself kind of stuck. Yeah, no Sag wants to be stuck, right? It's ruled by Jupiter, travel, and even metaphorical travel, right? And no, don't want to be stuck. Let's see what we have. It's about movement and expansion. So Sagittarius for sure don't want to be stuck, right? And we have the house number 2. All right, second house. This is ruled by Taurus and physical security, possessions. This is also Venus energy, material values, and self-worth. All right, so Venus is about self-care, and we have self-worth here. And the second house is about money, possessions, and material values. It is about security. So if you have a moon in Taurus, you will, your financial security will be important to you. For sure it will, and maybe more important than other people. And we have Neptune, and this is dream and transcend. Look at that. This is Piscean energy, and that's what Pisceans do. They dream about things, and they can transcend and overcome anything, really, if they so choose. You have to be in your higher consciousness, right? A lot of kind of Neptunian or Piscean, or people with a lot of Neptune in their chart, or Pisces placements, right? Can a lot of planets in Pisces for them can actually support that, of course. So let's see what we have, and let's keep going here. Let's get a couple more cards. And for, let's see what we have. And these are, Sagittarius is the card, optimism, exploration, and freedom. Yeah, I was talking about Sagittarius don't want to be stuck. No, and that's, no, heck no. And that is written in the stars for Sagittarius because based on the planet of Jupiter. So today we're using these cards. And let's go ahead and get one card from the crystal messages. Let's see what they have to say for you guys today. And we have growth, and this is green aventurine, right? And this is, I'm always learning, growing, and improving myself, thus increasing my value to the world, right? So the shadow side, right? When you take a good look at your shadow side, you are learning and you are growing. As long as you don't ignore it, right? And say, hey, that's not me, and right? As long as you're not in denial, I didn't do that, right? I'm not like that. That would be funny, but tragic, right? It's not really too funny, though, actually. So, yeah, this is great. The green aventurine, which really means adventure, right? And over here we have exploration and freedom. But this is growth in order to pursue your adventures. And that's really what Sagittarius is always kind of pursuing. Yeah, we can say that. That can be very true. Expansion. They are pursuing expansion in their life, movement and growth. And the green color of this gemstone represents nature and the natural progression of the universe. The green aventurine reminds you that life is an adventure. You are not truly alive unless you grow, flourish, and thrive. That's true. So this curiosity brings growth. Yeah, somebody could have said, gee, I wonder who I am in this reading. It looks like somebody who's maybe really in love with you here. Dream and transcend. So let's see here in the bottom of the deck of the Connolly. Today we are going Celtic. We are. And the Knight of Swords. And this is the Connolly deck. Yeah, very Irish and very cool for sure. And the Knight of Swords is rising up to basically assert himself and take what he wants, take what he needs. Take really, or aspire to have something that is that they trust with their intelligence, that they have been curious about, that they possibly have made a decision about because of the sword energy here. This is intelligence, knowing what is good for somebody, right? And definitely growth, and looking at their shadow side has been really good. Let's see what we have. And we start with the King of Swords. Speaking of that energy, you're right. Ace of Cups, right on. And the Page of Wands. Yeah, boy, am I dating myself with this right on, right? Does anybody ever say that? No, only older people. Right on. Right? I think they still use cool, though. I think they do. And we have the Nine of Cups. Beautiful reading. We have the transition. And we talked about that up here. There's a transition, leaving something behind, moving into something better. Often involves a sacrifice. When you see the shadow side, something's been sacrificed here. Maybe somebody needs to sacrifice, and because the shadow side is about knowing, look, I need to sacrifice this, or sack something. Yeah, sack it for sure, and move forward, right? Yeah, we have to sack things in our life. We sure do. And we have to toss them. And we have the Ace of Swords. We have two aces in the reading, and the Ace of Cups here, adjacent, kind of diagonal here, is the Ace of Swords. There's a lot of angels in this reading. I love how they have the babies, or the angels are babies in this reading, in this deck, right? So here we have the King of Swords to start the reading, and he's there with his nobility and his sword, his power, right? And they say the sword is mightier. The pen is mightier than the sword, but that's talking about something else. In this case, the sword is mightier than anything else. Is mightier than kind of, like, we're not going to say violence, but this is about somebody's intelligence. That's really what that's about. That is what is most important here, and that's what's key. That is the overall energy. And the king has authority. This is what I'm trying to say. He might be associated with the government or the law. I find that to be not usually true, but I mean, it can be because of this intelligence, the sword, right? And he could be a bricklayer, he could, but usually people who have, like, my ascendant is Gemini, so super curious, right? And information's really important. Podcasting too, right? And so let's see what else it says here. He gives excellent counsel. Yeah, see, this is somebody who knows what they want, or they make good decisions. But the shadow side was, it only came after studying or really looking at the shadow side. And it's really interesting when you're a kid and you notice shadows when you're really little. And that's kind of what this is about, right? Although symbolically, when we're kids, we're just going, wow, look at my shadow. How cool is that, right? When you're playing, it's almost like when you realize, when you're little and you realize the echo. And that's fascinating to kids too, right? Yeah, it is. At least it was to me, right? And so let's look at the Ace of Cups. It sits in the challenge, but it doesn't all, it's kind of the crossing energy, like what's really important here. But there was something here that is kind of, something has to be done usually when with the crossing energy, or something was done. It's very influential or impactful. This card and the Ace of Cups is showing up here as the beginning of all good things: love, joy, health. For sure, very interesting. Well, it sits, like I said, kind of in the challenge. And here's the Page of Wands. So this is, a decision is made here for a new path. The Page of Wands is always about a new path. And he may be, and here he is holding up his emerald. And the green means growth or fertility. And that's what we have over here with the green aventurine. Yeah, and I wonder if this is, this is aventurine right here. Yes, it is. I mean, I'll be honest, I really kind of didn't know that, right? But I've been feeling growing pains, Sagittarius, for a long time, right? My foot hurts, my heart, you know. Not exactly like that, but yeah, there's some growing, everybody has growing pains in some way, right? And let's look at the Page of Wands, and let's see what they have to say about the beautiful Page of Wands. Yeah. Let's see here. The Page of Wands indication is a message from a near relative or a close friend. All right, so with the Ace of Cups here, which can be a new beginning in love, it can, you might be, I feel like you're getting a new message of somebody wants to offer you something beautiful here. I feel like this second house card up here is somebody values you, right? And, I talked about the self-worth. I kind of, hit on that. That's Venus energy. The second house is about self-esteem and self-care. And Venus is all about self-care, right? You can't be the Empress, like if you haven't combed your hair in 2 months, and, right? You could be saying what? But you can't, right? You are not allowed, right? So, yeah, Venus is about self-care. It can be about beauty, especially with the Libra influence, right? And the second house is Taurus energy, Empress as well. But it can also be about value. Whenever we see self-worth, that is how you value yourself. Somebody values you here. The second house is about values, right? And so here is the Empress right over here, right? And somebody's bringing you a message of love, Sagittarius. They are. The Ace of Cups, interesting. The love, the message of kind of what this is about sits in this crossing energy. Something happened here already. And we know that because we have the shadow side. He might be smiling, but, he might have cried, right? Cried in his cage, or hopefully he's not in a cage, the chimpanzee. He's supposed to be in the wild. Yes, he is, right? Yeah. And let them out, right? Yeah. And so the Empress, let's see. The Empress sitting in her pink dress, and I don't know who she looks like. She looks like, I don't know, for me, some kind of English. She's supposed to be Irish, right? But some kind of English actress. But hey, that's how I'm remembering that image. And the Empress is about the fountain of life. And here's the fountain of life for her over here. And so we see this through the symbol of the butterfly. Where's the butterfly at? Right here, And so this is about a promise of growth, prosperity, and fertility in all things, needs fulfilled. So your needs are going to be fulfilled in love, Sagittarius, and satisfaction. And this can be about your abundance, your financial abundance as well. It's the thing about Venus. Venus can talk about money. It can talk about beauty. It can talk about self-worth and self-esteem, right? And so, yeah, and values. And so the mindset here is the wish. Somebody is offering you. Somebody is your wish or you're their wish. I feel like you are both each other's wishes. And there's a change. There definitely is. And so we have in the near future is the transition. The transition is now. Now she's getting to she hasn't got to the other side yet of the bridge. That is when the transformation completely, where the butterfly comes in and the caterpillar has already made his transition right into the butterfly, right? And so let's look at the Six of Swords, and she's crossing the bridge and she has a wand instead of a sword. The swords are here. There's a recognition with all sixes, and she says, I have to cross this bridge. I have to have change. She's holding the wand. And let's have a look at that 6. And this is, have faith. You can win. Wow, how beautiful is that? And she knows that. She knows that she has to leave what is over here in order to win. Yeah, this takes courage in this reading, right? It does. It takes a bit of courage. And, the shadow side, to look at your shadow side, it doesn't mean that, for some people it can be vices, but it's usually kind of just looking at your shortcomings, definitely, and saying, well, I don't have to be that way, or I don't have to behave that way anymore. And, kind of understanding why we did that, right? The shadow can be about, it's usually about things that other people might see in us, but that we can't see in ourselves because it can be like merely a shadow. It's dark. We don't see it. And so, yeah, once we are kind of in the light or receiving the light, this is when we can see our dark side, right? Temperance is the concern, and here she is, and she looks, I don't know, she's kind of interesting, the look on her face, but temperance, where is temperance? Here and there, yeah, and this is, yeah, uniting the yin and the yang. That's what temperance is about. It's about healing, but it's about balance, and that's why she has 2 cups, and she's kind of mixing here. And when we say the yin and the yang, that's why she normally, right, in most decks she has 1 foot in the water and 1 foot on the ground, and this is combining the energies of, honestly, really the universe and the physical. It is the physical and the mystical, the emotional, the intuitive, the feminine and the masculine, and that's what's going on here. This is a beautiful reading. Yeah, Ace of Swords sits in the environment. Yeah, it's a new beginning, but there's something more to that, and to their version of the Ace of Swords, and it talks about the seeds of success and triumph are taking root. Success and triumph. Yeah, and this is in the environment. You have something really good coming for you, birthday season, Sagittarius. You really do, and this looks like it is like pronto, right? Prontissimo, which is, soon. And so here we have the 9 of Swords, and, it's typically about anxiety, but he's behind the gate, and these swords are up here, and there's 4 swords tied. This is the 4 of Swords, I beg your pardon. Look like the 9 for a second. There's 4 swords tied here. He's on the other side of the fence and the gate. And so the 4 of Swords, feeling of being cut off and out of touch. And so this sits in the hopes and the desires. Somebody has a message for you here. Or maybe you're hoping that they're not cut off or out, or kind of out of touch. There's somebody here who wants to talk to you. Maybe you're hoping, though, that they have kind of transcended with this, overcome their problems, their issues with the shadow side, right? Yeah, and so, and so here, this is, you could be hoping that they're not out of touch with their own divinity, with their own, their own intuition of who they are. Their own kind of knowing thyself. That's what this is about when we see the shadow side. And so maybe they're hoping that you're not going to be out of touch, because there's this energy in this reading that, we can really be together, but somebody has really got to kind of understand the the soul connection and understand themselves and rise above that and have courage. So in order to make this dream vision come true, in order to transition and transcend. So this sits here in the hopes and desires. One of you guys is hoping that about the other. Take this time to think of new plans for the future. Remain focused on your goals. And this person's offering you a new future, or you're offering them. And this is kind of like hoping that the other person is in the energy to do that, right? I mean, you can offer somebody, a castle, or, red diamonds and love and, this great life. But if they're not ready for it, then they won't accept it, or they think that they're not worthy of it. Yeah, that's what's going on, right? Self-worth is kind of and growth is the key here, because we start with the shadow side, and then we have the green aventurine, right? Which is such a pretty kind of name, right? Yeah. Right. In Spanish they say aventura. Yeah. And this is like nothing ventured, nothing gained, right? That's how it is with an adventure. But sometimes, we have to grow in order to accept those, or to reach for them, or to even see that this growth is really good for us in order to live the adventures in our lives, right? We can't stay stagnant and, ignore, because, yeah, you might feel safe, but you're going to be miserable in the end, right? Yeah, safety is not the way, no, because when there's a fear of risk or change, then you will never know what could come true in your life for you, right? Here's the Three of Wands in the potential outcome. He's kind of pouring his heart out to her, and he has come on the boat to see her, right? He said, meet me at the boat, meet me at the shore. I have something to tell you. That's what you can see him. He's holding his heart. Yeah, and let's have a look at the Three of Wands. Someone willing to give you assistance. Yeah, and so what this means is that this person is willing to, like, not help you grow so much, but help, like, work on this relationship, give to it. That's what they mean about assistance. This person's going to be attentive, or you are, to them. And partnership or cooperation is possible. That's what they're trying to tell you here. I'm going to support you. That's what they mean by assistance. Yeah. That's right. And beautiful reading, Sagittarius. Very beautiful. If you want your own psychic reading, you can get one. I'm a Silva grad. They're accurate, and we do them usually over a video call. And in the description box below, you can click on that. I'm a certified past life regression therapist. Yeah, it is therapy, because you leave that feeling more powerful and more calm, and like you have dropped a burden, or dropped some type of karma, or left behind things that don't serve you anymore. Highly powerful. Yeah, it is through your own recognition, because you're choosing a past life that is basically wants to show you a lesson and how it is connected to this life. Yeah, it's highly powerful. It is. And it's not me telling you, hey, you should do blah, blah, blah. No, it's not that, right? Yeah, it's super great. And if you want to get an astrology reading about your life map going forward, you can get one of those. You can get a progress chart as well. Yeah, and the progress chart is showing you what's going on now. If you are a Sag, right, you have, and depending on your age, you may be a Capricorn now in some ways. You could be an Aquarian right now. And the transits, the planets have shifted in your progressed reading, your progressed chart, showing you what is relevant today as well. Your natal chart shows you what you were given at birth that is still relevant today, but the progress chart's kind of an extra. Yeah, it is. It definitely is. Thanks so much, you guys. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Please hit the little bell in order to receive all my notifications. Get your psychic reading. Lots of fun, definitely. Thanks so much, guys.